Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks are officially in the NBA playoffs after beating the Cleveland Cavaliers 107 to 101 in the final playing game. They were down double digits at one point this game, but still managed to make the comeback. And the catalyst for this comeback was Trae Young. Trae Young played one of the most impressive individual offensive halves I've seen from any player. He showed everyone why you should never bet against him, and he showed off his scoring ability, playmaking ability, and his all-time great problem-solving skills by absolutely dismantling the Cavs' top 7 defense in the second half of this game. I was rooting for the Cavs in this game because they're my second favorite team in the league, but watching Trae Young decimate everything the Cavs threw at him in the second half was just masterful. So today, I want to talk about his performance in this game, especially in the second half, and how he overcame the struggles he had in the first half. Leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I drop regular NBA content, and with the NBA playoffs coming up, this should interest you. So do subscribe to the channel and make sure you stay till the end so you don't miss out anything. First, let's talk about how Trae struggled in the first half. The Cavs put Levert on him, who did a decent job for the most part, and when Lauri Markkanen switched on him, he was able to hold his own on a couple of possessions too. Trae got the better of them and beat them off the triple multiple times, but there were two 7-footers waiting to eat up his shot in the paint in Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. The Cavs did a great job off ball, deflecting Trae's passes and forcing him into awkward situations. This got better as the half progressed. He was finding open shooters very well by some point through the second quarter, but the Hawks shooting 3 of 70 from 3 didn't help. Even Trae got pressured at one point in the first half and was taking threes which he couldn't convert. His floaters weren't falling, and both Allen and Mobley did an incredible job of guarding him in the pick and roll. Trae was met with 3 7-footers every single time he drove into the paint. And add on to that the active off-ball defense the Cavs played in the first half, it made it very hard for him to score. After all, there is a reason this Cavs defense was top 3 when fully healthy. At the end of the first half, Clint Capella got injured and things weren't looking great for them, as now Trae didn't have either Capella or Collins to run a pick and roll with. But what makes Trae such a special player is how quickly he's able to solve these problems. Last playing game, the Hawks railed the Hornets, and the big reason for that, even though Trae struggled against them in the regular season, is that Trae figured the defense out. The Hornets were trapping him every single possession, so Trae knew they were going to do this game and started splitting doubles at an elite level. He started running before the screen even came to him, and he outran the defenders. And overall, though he didn't have the best shooting night, he absolutely dominated that game. And anyone who watched the game would tell you he was the best player on the court, creating offense possession after possession in the half court. So what did he do against the Cavs in this game in the second half? As mentioned before, he dominated the game against the Hornets without a shot falling. But this time for the Cavs, unfortunately, his shot was falling. And he made this known from the first possession in the half. In the first half, guys like Markkanen and Levert were doing a good job denying the ball from Trae too. So in the very first possession of the half, Trae moves off ball a good amount, asks for the guard-to-guard screen after noticing the Cavs were switching everything, and in the brief second he gets, he pulls up from deep, showing off his range and making it known what kind of half the Cavs were up for. The Hawks run a similar play again, but this time the Cavs trap him. But the problem is, they didn't really hard trap him. This is a pretty soft trap and a pretty soft double team, and Trae could easily pass the ball to Herter, who started the possession off with an advantage and got an easy finish at the rim because Trae pulled Jarrett Allen outside too. At this point, you should be noticing a pattern. Jarrett Allen, in my opinion, is one of the better switch bigs in the NBA. But Trae is so fast, it doesn't really matter. Allen was also not 100% in this game as he just came off an injury and he wasn't moving the same laterally or vertically. So Trae takes advantage of this, beats him off the dribble, forces the help and gets Okongwu an easy finish at the rim. This pass is just Trae Young showing off his absolutely ridiculous passing ability. As mentioned before, Trae has become incredible at splitting doubles as he did throughout the Hornets game. The Cavs once again didn't trap Trae aggressively enough, and he just slithers through the defenders like it's nothing and gets an easy finish at the rim. Once again, Trae punishes the Cavs defense for not respecting his deep shot enough and shows off his extremely deep range for the Hawks' first lead of the game. And this is where the tide of the game completely shifted. He hits another 3 in the exact same scenario but at the wing, And after drawing 2 straight fouls and hitting 4 straight free throws, Trae caps off a 16-point third quarter and goes into the fourth with momentum on his side. Trae scored or assisted on 27 of the 33 Hawks points in the third, spearheading a 14-point comeback and tying the game. Trae starts off his stint in the fourth, punishing the Cats for the millionth time for not guarding the pick and roll properly and gets an easy floater. A shot which he's shooting above 50% on this season, one of the best marks in the entire league. As I mentioned in the start of the video, Trae is one of the best problem solvers in the league. If you throw the same strategy at him more than like one time, he will punish you. Lauri Markkanen had his movements on Trae in the first quarter, but Trae is twice as fast as the man. You can't keep switching 7-footers on him for the whole game and expect not to get cooked. When they finally realize this and Levert fights over the screen, Trae collapses the defense, forces them to gamble, and Gallo makes the extra pass for an open triple, extending the lead to 9 points. Like, dude, he has a counter for literally everything you throw at him. He's like an offensive mastermind. In the first half, the Hawks threw 3 big men at him, and they were struggling to score over them or pass around them because of how active the Cavs guards were. So in the second half, he just started using his floaters, and by the time the defense adjusted, it was too late. Here he does that and punishes the Cavs defense for switching, but not hard doubling, with Levert who's just doing a bunch of nothing behind Lauri, and Trae gets his 30 points. At this point, he's just toying with the defense. He generates a ton of space on this play, using his extremely quick and tight handle to send Levert all the way back to drain a deep triple again. This time they actually trap him well, but Trae is just too quick and drains a floater, putting the Hawks up 3. After the Hawks get a stop, Trae is fouled intentionally and he drains 3 more free throws to finish the game and seal the win for the Hawks. Trae scored or assisted on 43 of the 56 Hawks points in the second half and was an important part in generating almost every look the Hawks generated in the second half, and even though it might not have been a direct assist or a direct point. After struggling a lot in the first half, he came back in the second to completely dismantle the Cavs defense like it was nothing and put on one of the best offensive showings in the single half this season. He made the crowd regret chanting F Trae Young and showed everyone why he is arguably one of the 10 best basketball players in the world and one of the 3 best offensive players in the world. With that, we've come to the end of the video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.